Here we go. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I am going to be making a absolutely titanic thing for the entirety of Season 2. This is the behind-the-scenes video for all of Season 2. Oh boy, do we have a lot to go over. There is so much to go over, in fact, that I'm going to have to divide this probably into sections. Because I have so many different things to talk about. You have the animation, the lore, and then I have like a bunch of other random things I want to talk about. Like the power scaling stuff, like animation, lore, and power scaling, and there is so much in every single one of these parts. So, firstly, I guess we should just yap about the animation. I mean, there's some to talk about here. All in all, the animation improved drastically from Season 1. It was smoother, looked better, but all in all, while it does look way better, it still was underwhelming to me. I guess the only reason why it's underwhelming to me is because I've just gotten so used to it by this point. The main issue I had was with, well, I struggled with opacity almost the entirety of the season. More than anything else, opacity was my, worst enemy. Because, I don't know what's wrong with it, but instead of just, showing whatever is behind it, it'll either, I don't know, it's weird because there's, two different things that opacity, I should just explain what opacity is. It's where, I make something, disappear, you, make it see-through, all those times I make something disappear or reappear out of thin air. Well, the opacity allows me to make it more or less see-through. But the thing is, half the time, it'll do it where, all the special effects will, or, the special effects, or, mostly just the special effects will, you will, they'll, come into focus, but it'll clip right through the ground beneath, and through whatever's there, and just show you clouds, the actual, main ground and stuff. It's really annoying, because that's not how opacity works, and it makes everything look horrible in that case. Then, but the other half of the time, it does that with models instead, which is far less frustrating. I literally, attempted to time it, it was weird because it depends on which time you come back into the whole animation thing. Because if you come into it one time, it'll be where it'll do that with special effects, and the other time it'll be with models. I literally had to time it. Well, I didn't have to; it was already perfectly timed. But I made sure that it was timed so that the models would be the things that had those problems. Because most of the time, it's the special effects I worry about. Even when I'm not using very many of them, they are far more important to me to, look good. Granted, the special effects for this entire season weren't really that great, to be honest. Neither was the animation. Yeah, you can see on screen that little opacity stuff. But opacity, more than anything, I feel like opacity ruined, freaking ruined the second half of Demons, of episode 3. It was horrible. That scene originally looked that was groundbreaking. Well, it was groundbreakingly good for my standards. That was a serious improvement, and then opacity destroyed the scene and absolutely ruined it. All in all, the choreography, I feel got worse. Kind of. I feel I was trying to focus more on details and had a lot more. Especially with Shivering. I feel Shivering, this first episode, it took me way too long. I wasn't really paying attention. I was working on Stick Tourney 2 and its stuff. So, I made this over, the course of a month. And, as a result, I kind of lost focus. The ending part actually looks really good. I like some of the choreography, but a lot of it I find to be very mundane. I like the first and last parts, but the two middle parts, the first middle part is kind of mundane, and then the second one sucks. It is so broken. It goes for spectacle, but it doesn't really work. I found out how to do some camera effects to make things look better, and I use them in the final part too. They make the animator a whole lot laggier, but it still looks pretty good. All in all, the choreography in the first episode was acceptable, I guess. It was an improvement to some extent. The thing is, I'm not very good with details, so choreography, in my opinion, is something I need to heavily focus on. Because I don't have the insane levels of detail or the skill required to make those things look really good. So I have to make my fighting look nice. That's, like, choreography to me matters more than anything else in these animations. And, to be honest, like, for it being my first priority, it's still not that good. But of course, I've only been doing this for a year. So, I mean, compared to some people, like, who have been doing this for, like, longer, I would dare say, I'm pretty sure I've got actually a significant, actually I'm significantly better than some people. I imagine I've been doing this for quite a while. But maybe I'm just stupid, maybe I'm just terrible. But, and then we have, like, so yeah, as you can see, the animation here is kind of, I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on to episode 2 now. At least the animation part here. So, I like this mostly. For some reason, I was able to render this, or put it in rendered mode while working with it. Honestly, I really love most of the choreography. I don't love the second half of this opening part. Like, I really liked the whole first part, like, at first, and then I don't like it later, because it gets that slower, mundane feel. Which I have a lot of the time, because I'm lazy, and I'm just not very good with... I don't like working on idle animation. Because to me, like, you can just do idle animation, it's just, you can, like, do almost nothing. Like, eye movements, anything to, like, keep it interesting enough. And why is our chest in, like, the top left corner? Yeah. This laser moves for some reason. Honestly, there's not, as much as I'm saying negative stuff, there isn't too much that's really that bad about this. The one important difference I did make, there were a couple things actually I improved on here. Firstly, my animation became more consistently good here. And then also, after, like, this first bit here, I actually learned how to make special effects see-through. Also, that knee was not meant to go there. Well, actually, it is meant to go where it is, but it does not. It looks like it looks like it would hurt a lot more than it would have. Yeah, I can understand Rain not getting up from that. Yeah, right there, see-through effects. Those get ruined by the opacity thing in episode 3. Now this is my favorite exchange by far. Like, dude, the animation for this improved so much. Like, to be honest, Purpose was, like, such an improvement over episode 1. Like, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, I love it when I improve a significant bunch. It is so satisfying to see my animation improve over the usual amount. Here, yeah, we struggled with the lightning effects. All in all, was okay. And then, yeah, this is where the choreography does not shine. I just put them in bubbles, which we can talk about power scaling later, but it's pretty clear. I mean, it's more or less clear. Maybe it's not as clear to everyone else, but I could easily like 1v3 them at this current point. This whole season at this point is pretty much just me showcasing my insane levels of just raw power. Like, this is like, I never even go all out in the entire season. Like, the whole season, I'm still not going, like, I'm still not using my full power. I didn't even use, like, 2 times the power in the finale. Well, actually, yes, I did. Actually, I changed that, because I realized another problem that I'll talk about later in the power scaling section. All in all, I really liked Purpose. I also like this moment. It feels dramatic. Maybe I'm just dumb and I think it's cool because I'm edgy. I like this. Yeah, see, episode 2 was like perfect. Well, not really. Then you have episode 3. We get this stupid opening shot that sucks. Like, yeah, lazy as crap. And then you have, like, the whole team standing here. And then this shot. I gotta take a moment here to say I hate the way that my hair looks in this animation whenever it starts glowing. It starts looking orange. And I don't got anything against redheads, but man, it ticks me off that it just turns orange. Like, dude, I just want to look like myself. Like, dude, why? Why can't I just look epic and be myself? Well, whatever. I turn into a redhead now whenever I glow. That's just too bad for me. This guy's just yapping. Okay, this is the frickin' cringe part. I don't know. Part of me hates myself for doing this. Oh my word, the lighting, though. Look at this. The lighting right there was so bad. Also, if you didn't notice, I did change the way the camera works. I actually added in, like, this blur in the memory parts. So, yeah. This is... I don't know. I just, like, cannot look at this animation without cringing badly. And then we have this scene. Yeah, I might make more animations on this like interaction later, but for now, I'm gonna be cryptic. And look, right there, phases, like you can see through. Man, I look mad. I looked mad for a second there. Also, the sword was floating. Now it's not. The power of this person's hand has just fixed my sword. Amazing. Okay, let's get away from that. Yeah, let's leave that shot. Yes, more memories. Very weird indeed. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's time for the epic part. Yes, I love this part. Yes, the glowing. Oh, I'm a redhead now. Here we go. Redhead Sam versus all of these nerds. You cannot defeat the power of the redhead. Okay, I'm sorry, that was stupid. Yes, I love this part of the choreography because it actually looks good. And then this part happens. It does not look good. You can hardly tell those are spikes. You don't see them go anywhere because I'm too lazy to do it. And then I like this exchange because it's actually, like, so cool. I just, like, nonchalantly come up behind her and just, like, boom! Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, alright, I forgot I'm in phase 5 in this one. I was like, wait, I can't teleport in phase 4, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's phase 5. And, pop! Man, take your time. Don't, like, no rush to hit him in the face, Sam. Yeesh. You can also see Ender Steve back there. In a fun little position. And then more memories. Yay! So yeah, I realized the original whole animation kind of sucked and didn't make much sense. So this is just like a little bit of a redesign. Because, you know, it doesn't make much sense. Like, hey kid, come with me. Get away from these bandits. Like, excuse me, why on earth would I, why am I making exemptions for this kid? Whatever, we can talk more about that later. I'd like to be cryptic on that. And then we have Defavra. Yeah, we have some stuff indicating what's going on here. I'll talk more about that in the lore section. And then, yes. This scene looks good until, so this gonna slide back, until here. This scene sucks after this. And, this part right here sucks just because, like, the effect did not work. It looks like a freaking, like, what is this? Then, oh, this scene got ruined by opacity. Like, oh my word. Like, this had so much potential. And look how, like, easily I just am, like, flowing through these people. And then this scene. I really like this scene. I feel like this is probably a plot twist for anyone who, like... I don't know why that didn't glow. I don't know why I didn't make it glow. It was supposed to glow. Whatever. So yeah, I just, like... like, big change. Like, the first scene, I actually fight them for a little bit. And then I just, like, flow through them in seconds in the second half. To be fair, that's realistically what was going to happen anyways. And that, with the phases they were using versus mine. I wanted to like kind of show them getting stronger throughout the episodes. So they really started out weak. So they didn't really stand a chance against someone as powerful as my character. It was very unfair. So we can't really judge them by their appearance here. But yeah, that scene sucks. So episode 3, it's too cringe for me to really even assess it. Because, because I'm an edgy teenager and I don't like this. Okay, now we have Riptide. Me versus... Yeah, we get Kitty again. This, yeah, once again, opacity ruining things for me. Thank you, opacity. Thank you so much. This, like, looked good until opacity is just like, yeah, nah, screw your animations, boy. Better, suck, because I say so. So, yeah, we got all of them ganging up on me. Maybe you thought for a moment that they would actually win. And then, oh my word, that was a hopper, but it wasn't supposed to look like a hopper, but it does anyways. And, okay, might I say, this choreography here sucks. Like, ah yes, don't check behind you, or check behind you and then don't check again. And then, ah yes, because, Kitty, it's not like Kitty can teleport, which she can. Like everyone else, the beatdown makes more sense. But Kitty just, like, got obliterated. It's like she expected, like, oh yeah, pew, and then he's gonna die in one hit. Like, no. So I decided I had to give Kitty her own 1v1, because Kitty, I did not do justice to Kitty. Because Kitty's just built different, okay? Kitty's not supposed to be in the same league as the rest of these people. Also, the original choreography was going to be way different, but then I decided, you know what, I'm just not going to let, I don't know, I'll talk about it later. So yeah, we got this whole scene here. It's okay. I feel like this second confrontation is a lot more realistic. I like how it's like the first one was like not really even close. Well, I mean it was. It shouldn't have been, because realistically I was way stronger than Kitty in the first confrontation. It shouldn't have even been a fight. This one is much more of a fight, and I feel like it's much more satisfying because of that. I feel like this showcases Kitty's abilities that I've actually learned about since she actually started talking. My sister started talking, this is her character, so yeah. And then we got Juliet here for the save. Yeah. Relevance. You know, now that I think of it, I'm not sure how relevant, like, any of these characters, like Juliet, Rain, or Defopper. Actually, they don't get that much relevance yet. I don't think they might never get much relevance. They have, I'll say a little bit about it. They get, like, tons of relevance later on, or they would get tons of relevance later on. But in this series, like, this season and the next one I'm playing, like, they appear and all, but they aren't, like, super relevant. I mean, they're kind of relevant, but they aren't, like, in the spotlight as much as they will be, and, like, as much as I intend for them to be in Season 4. But the thing is, I don't intend to even make Season 4 for a long time. And here we go, yes, the special effects, I felt like were carrying. The transition was good. The only thing I didn't like about this whole scene was the legs that were going, and I was just like, nah, screw it. I'm not gonna do what I did in Riptide and, like, re-render some of the scenes. I'm just gonna let them glow. So I did. They aren't supposed to glow like that, but who cares? So yeah, this is kind of sort of realistic. Realistically, I'm like twice as fast as Flasher in this moment. Not Flasher. Not Flasher, I meant Ender Steve. We'll talk about the me versus Flasher situation, because it's a lot more complicated than it looks. Like, it was just like one punch. But realistically, something... we're going to talk about power scaling in the next section. This is just like our first section here. This is just like wave upon wave. This is like not what realistically you should do if you were going up against someone like me. Because I'm gonna be real, if all of them really worked together, I would have lost by a long shot. But they don't work together. I mean, you can't really blame them for not working together well. Here I am, just like using my speed stick. I liked how, like, I wanted to emphasize how fast I was going here. Like, they don't even react, or at least, like, Rain doesn't even react here. Defavra reacts, but like after I beat the crap out of him in a single hit. Juliet is just like yeeted immediately from the battlefield because I don't want to fight someone with that much power. Because some of those items give her quite a lot of power. Here we go. Kitty's coming in, and she actually puts up a significant fight on her own. But it is a phase 3 against a phase 6. Yeah, her teleport completely like beats the crap out of me for a little bit, and then stops. Realistically, at this point, nothing I do is gonna kill Kitty. The only way I can like even hold Kitty, the only way you can beat Kitty at this point, because Kitty has a revive ability, is to like impale a person with a revive ability through the head, and then like keep the whatever you use that in their head. They will not be able to revive. They can't use any other abilities than the revive when they're dead, so that's how the revive ability works. That's the only way to keep Kitty down, because otherwise she's just pretty much unkillable. Any other practical ways, anyways. And so, yeah, that was the whole animation section. On to the lore section.